Drama City Productions presents.
What's up, party people? You are listening to Conversations with Paycheck and Red,
an inappropriate comedy podcast.
Have you ever taken a photo of your own butthole?
Do you enjoy the smell of hot dog water?
Do you have random conversations about dildos?
Well, this is the podcast for you.
Just two good old boys having no-holds-barred conversations.
All while laughing inappropriately.
Oh, hell. Paycheck and Red have gotten themselves into another inappropriate conversation. Let's listen and see how they get out of this one.
3, 2, 1. Here we are.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
One more again. What's up, man?
Same old, same old. How was your week?
Semi fucked up. I had vehicle problems. I'm moving. It's fucking snowing. It's cold outside. Yeah. I've had a week.
Yeah, I'm over this cold weather crap. I will definitely appreciate the summer a little more.
Yeah, definitely. I'll appreciate the fucking springtime.
Yeah, right. I
appreciate the fucking fall. I hate winter up here, man. It fucking sucks.
I live in Florida, and I didn't appreciate or respect the Florida weather like I should have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I wish I had your winter up here. Trust me.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Went on a bike ride today. It was 65.
Oh yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. I done sent you a video of what the hell I'm dealing with.
Yeah. I don't want any part of that.
No.
So today's episode, I'm excited about it. Why don't you tell them what it's about?
It is we're talking about digitizing the human mind. Downloading consciousness.
Well, slow down there, cowboy. Slow down a little bit, okay?
The frontier within, sir.
Well, it's I'm gonna call this episode Our Digital Self. So now we can attack this from many different angles. So I'd like to tackle this from a few different angles. So let's start with the first angle. The first angle is everyone's familiar with it. It's your smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on how you use your smartphone, you are actually creating a digital self. What you put in the search engine, your social media, the filters that you use, the conversations that you choose to be a part of, the pages and the groups that you choose to be a part of, that's all creating who you are as a digital being. So you're dealing with a digital literacy skill, which is being able to manage these systems to our best advantage and to make sense of what we receive.
Mm-hmm.
So being, the phrase digital literacy skills, you can manipulate and you can use technology for, to create who you are as a person. And you can parallel this to jewelry or makeup. You're defining who you are. You're at the makeup that females use and the jewelry that they used to wear and the jewelry that men wear. We now use filters to create what we want to look like in digital society.
Mm-hmm.
So you almost get to create. You ever heard that country song? It's a dumb song. I don't even know who sings it. I know the song, but the lyrics go something like, "I'm so much cooler online."
Never heard it, man. Never heard it.
Yeah, it's
some of that pop country bullshit you listen to.
It might be one of those comedic country singers. What's old boy's name? Used to be a comedian. Now he's Rodney.
That narrows it down.
Rodney Carrington.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so much cooler online. Is the lyric.
Right.
So you get to build your digital self, because Red, I see more of your digital self than I see you in person. Correct?
Absolutely.
A majority of the people that you are in contact with, you're in contact with them primarily digitally,
Hmm.
right? So through video and through photos and through status updates, I can literally pick and choose who you know of me.
What I know of you, not who I know.
Yeah, had we not known each other personally, depending on what I choose to, what's going on here? There's problems with the microphone. A person has a great opportunity to present themselves in a way that is the best of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to back in the day, we would hang out with one another physically, and you got to see the real deal characteristics. It's like that person who posts these filtered photos online, and it's like they forget that some people know them personally,
Yeah.
and know they don't look like that. You know what I mean? But here's the crazy thing about our digital self and technology. There's a guy, his name is Gordon Moore. He's a co-founder of Intel. Are you familiar with the company Intel?
Seems like I've heard about it a time or two.
They're real big into technology, but he created it's called the Moore's Law. It's been around since 1965. It's the number of transistors in a chip doubles every 2 years.
Right.
Dude, do you understand what that means? We are at the infancy of this technology. Right now, everything that's going on in technology, these chips that have these multiple, we are now able to add multiple transistors in these little chips. And these little chips, think about all the technology that is crammed into a thin laptop. Right? Okay, so the number of transistors has changed throughout the years. We are now able to fit more in such a small chip.
Right.
Okay,
You're talking about you're talking about like a cloud chip, right? Like a storage chip.
Yes.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point about saving. We're turning into digital hoarders. Everything is save.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing, though. Whenever you're born, your brain is still developing, and it develops up until your early teens, I think. But I've heard, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this too, that you only use 10%. The smartest person in the world only uses like 10% of their brain capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So why would you need the chip whenever you could just download it into the meat right there? Because you're only using 10% of it, so even the geniuses of the world still have 90% left.
Well, that's another avenue that we absolutely, and that's actually another avenue that we could talk about.
I mean, maybe I watch too many movies, but I don't think in the movies they put it in a chip. They just download it from here and they add it to here. You know what I mean? So I know if the movies are doing it, the government's damn sure doing it.
Well, think about hearing aids, pacemakers. Mm-hmm. It's already begun. I saw where it is in the works now to where you install this lens on your eyeball and it will magnify things like microscopic.
They already have the Google Glass thing.
Mhm.
It's like a computer screen in front of your eyeball. It's not a contact lens, but it's just a pair of glasses that has a flip down thing.
Yeah, and I remember that's fairly new within the past couple of years, and they're already in development for an actual lens that you put on your eyeball.
I'll have one.
Huh?
I'll have one.
Okay, well, that brings the question.
I'll take
Sure,
two.
well, that offers the big question is, sure we can, but should we? Now let's talk about the negative.
What's the
aspect.
harm in it, though?
Well, let's talk about that for a second. We were fortunate enough to grow up in two different eras. We got in on the ass end of the family values and the eating.
I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Eating at the dinner table together, talking about your days. Kids were playing outside. So
kids don't appreciate street lights anymore.
Well, right, and so this is it's a sure we can, but should we? You know what I mean? It's yeah, we have all this technology, and I use this technology on a daily basis. A majority of the people who are listening use technology, and they're all into it, and they're looking forward to the what's to come. And but a small part of me is a little worried about, because think about all the social aspects that are being removed, like physical, social. I don't even know what to call it, but the going outside and playing with your best friend.
The interaction.
The physical interaction.
Right.
You know what I mean? The roughhousing, the wrestling, the sideline busts. You know what I mean? All the fun. Kids don't do that anymore. Kids are there, and not just kids, but everybody. The wife and I were watching a show about basketball in the Philippines, about how big basketball actually is in the Philippines. So, of course, they showed a lot of footage of, Filipino people playing basketball and people watching them play basketball. And dude, everybody was on their phones. Everybody, it was like a documentary, so it was the real deal. It wasn't like a movie or nothing.
Right.
And dude, everybody was on their phones in the Philippines. So this shit is global. This shit is everywhere. Everybody's on their phones. Everybody's using
Back up just a second though. I want to talk about these lenses again. We already skipping around to cell phones already. I want to talk about this. What's the downside to having microscopic lenses as contacts?
I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a mental.
Is this some kind of nanotechnology, or is just a film that you put over your eye like a contact lens? Is this some kind of, it actually magnifies shit, or does it improve my vision at the same time? Can I scroll the internet and thumb through the fucking Facebook pages and the Twitters in front of my eyes instead of on a phone or a laptop or?
No, but that doesn't sound so far-fetched, though, these days, does it?
No, because I'll have a pair.
Yeah.
I already have glasses. I don't like contact lenses because I can just put glasses on. But if I can fucking just sit here and use my consciousness to look up and down and scroll the fucking internet and search for shit without having to pull my fucking phone out or get on a laptop, yeah, man, I'm all about that.
Well,
but do they use the contact lenses or whatever the hell these things are you're talking about? Do they use that on the flip side? And
it's just to magnify at this point. It's just to magnify at this point. But having these things that you're talking about and that we're talking about, and the digital literacy skills, it allows us to be more economic. It allows us to be masters of economics and social success, right? Because like marketing has changed tremendously due to technology. social medias. So we've talked about one aspect to where we're using our smartphones and we are digitally transferring ourselves into this new technology. That's kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, but
Right.
dude, you're talking about chips in the neck, magnifying fucking contact lenses. To me, that is digitizing the
Right.
human being.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
And downloading shit. That's
Yeah, we're gonna get there. There's many different aspects we can take when we talk about our digital self. Right now, what we're talking about right now is the present. This is all things that we're able to do. We don't have to leave the house. I can have sex. I can have furniture delivered. I can have food delivered. I can have a woman delivered. You know, I don't have to leave my house.
So you're working on a timeline here.
Right. So
it would have been nice to know that shit before we started it.
Well, my point is that we're taking who we are right now in the present and we are transferring it into the new technology. But how we connect drives our footprint in the world digitally.
We're just building a portfolio at this point.
Right, but it's important because it's how we connect. How I connect with you, how I connect with the masses, how I connect with my friends. All that is like you said, the foundation. It's the footprint in the world of technology. So let's take it a step further. And I know you and I talked a little bit about the ability to literally transfer your consciousness into technology. I don't want to put it in a corner and call it internet technology, or you know what I mean, because it's going to be vast and it's going to be, like I said, it doubles. I don't know if you caught that because you were turning your notifications off because it was making all the buzzing. Yeah, I've seen it.
For some reason, this camera that I'm using keeps dimming like it's getting ready to shut off, so I have to keep touching it for it to come back on. Yeah, it's never done that before, so I'm having to babysit it tonight for some reason. There's a Russian entrepreneur, media mogul, and billionaire kind of dude that says in the year 2045 that human beings will be able to back themselves up onto a cloud. Thoughts, dreams, that kind of shit. He believes that you'll be able to create a digital version of human consciousness, stored in like a little synthetic brain, and when you die, it's downloaded to an artificial host, an AI, artificial intelligence, if you will. And he calls, I think I've read it today whenever I was doing a little bit of research. It's called the 2045 initiative or something.
Who is this guy?
Dmitry Itskov.
And he's from where?
Russia.
So he's saying that we will be able to transfer our thoughts, our dreams, anything mentally,
right,
consciously,
right,
if that's the word, into a cloud that can further be downloaded, if you will, into what?
Artificial intelligence. From actual robots of your likeness to little boxes that project a hologram of you.
Yeah. I don't know if I like that part.
That way your family members can still interact with you and you still live on even after you physically die.
That's not natural. A man ought to die at some point. All things die at some point. That's not natural. That's scary. I'm glad that I was able to see the beginning of all this, but I'm not a big fan of where it's headed.
Well, I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages. I'm kind of on the fence about that whole situation because I agree with you that everything dies. Everything has a time limit. There's a reason for it. But I'm also on the other side of the fence going, hell yeah. And I don't really think, yeah, sign me up. I'm ready to be downloaded. But I don't think that it's actually that you continue to live. I think it's just your memories, the idea of you, like a hologram, or the whole artificial intelligence side of like robots and likenesses of you and all that kind of shit freaked me out a little bit. But if I had a chip, a cloud, a USB drive, whatever it is, of all the stuff that me and my dad used to do and memories of him and all that, and I could just flip a button and turn a hologram on and see him and interact with him, that would be cool as shit. Even though I know he's dead and gone, I could still interact with him. It's the losing a loved one thing that I'm on the other side of the fence with, because that's a way to that's a perfect coping mechanism, in my opinion.
I don't see it working. It would be weird, because you can't capture a whole person, all their mannerisms.
No, it's human consciousness. Well, I mean, as far as this Russian dude, this Dmitry Itzkov guy goes, I guess he's talking about your entire being. Yeah. I was just taking it to a whole nother level and saying memories and ideas of you, you know what I mean? Just for memory's sake. I don't think, man, that would be super weird if I knew that my dad had passed away and I could still interact with his self through a computer chip or something. I mean, I don't know how exactly it's going to work, but.
And that's not creepy to you?
I told you I'm on the fence about it. Yeah, everything dies. When I said goodbye forever. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be able to get that back.
Yeah, well, I think my issue in general is there's no more intimacy between people. That's why people are able to do the things that they're able to do these days. It's because they live in a digital world. It's not reality. It's a digital reality. So, unfortunately, some people mentally snap and can't separate the digital reality from reality. So they lack the empathy and love for another human being. So they're able to talk to them any way they want to. They're able to, do things to people that they normally wouldn't be able to do. Mankind has been desensitized to mankind, all due to this technology. Now, I say that, but I'm a truck driver. I enjoy the GPS. You know what I mean? It makes my day a lot easier. But think about all the things affected by technology, or you were talking about education, socially, at work.
Think about this. Think about this right here. Think about this. If they're downloading consciousness, that means, or if they have plans to anyway, that means that they can take an entire education from fucking kindergarten to a college degree and put it on a fucking chip, stick it in your fucking neck, and bam! I just snapped my fingers right there, y'all, for people who aren't listening or watching. I just, bam! You got a fucking PhD.
But you gotta pay for that.
Of course, yeah. You're not gonna be able to get it for free. You're gonna be able to go to certain places. And I think there was a movie, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. I think it was called Eraser, where you would go into a place and you would sit down in a chair and you would pay money and they would send you on vacation.
Mars.
Or Mars. Or the fucking moon. Or Tahiti or Fiji or fucking the beaches of Mexico. And you would spend an entire vacation sitting in a fucking chair, kick back with your eyes closed, chilling.
Yeah, but that's the rainbow part. That's the rainbows and unicorn part about this technology.
The other side of that is not them projecting your consciousness to the world, but they are actually downloading shit to you. on the other side of that.
So since you're on the fence about
Mind
it,
control, super soldiers,
you know,
that kind.
let me ask you this: what if I told you that we could put a chip in your hand, and you could scan it at doors, at work to get in and out. You can scan it at ATM machines. You can use it at stores. You can use it at the hospital if you go to the emergency room and you're unconscious. That little
Got your
chip.
driver's
in your hand.
license number on it, your social
Right.
security number on it, what you're allergic to, your blood type. I see
Everything.
what you're doing, Paycheck. You're going biblical. You're talking about the mark of the beast.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that how far are we gonna go with this?
All right, I'm all about some subconscious vacations. Right? I'm all about some telescopic fucking contact lenses. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to everything about me and a chip in my hand, I don't know, man. They're already geotagging dogs.
Yeah. So you'll do everything except for get a chip in your hand.
Yeah.
What about on your forehead?
No.
That's transparent that you can't see.
No. It's not a fashion statement. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. Dude, they're already geotagging dogs that has all their health information on it. And it's a GPS. If you lose your dog, it's the same shit. They're guinea pigging dogs and fucking horses and shit like that people have to keep track of. But it's leading to putting them in your ass to keep up with you.
In every aspect. So much so to where all they have to do is deactivate whatever it is that technology is at the time. And that's a wrap.
Yep.
So right now, because
so Big Brother controls the population.
Right.
All the way around.
Yeah. Well, we're at the age now to where we've lived in two different eras. So it's a little foreign to us. But kids, they were born into.
Well, dude, this Dmitry Itzkov guy is predicting this by the year 2045. That's not that far away. No.
It's scary and fun times.
Like 25, 26 years, something like that.
Yeah, see, and by then, let's see, well, I'd still be able to take advantage of the technology and the resources. It's a double-edged sword for me, man. I'm excited. I like all the new things that that we're able to do, but it's kind of on how far we're gonna go.
Right, I was always cool on the cryogenic shit too, like freezing people and then thawing you out 50 or 100 years later or some shit.
Yeah, I'm not.
I can get down with some of that. I can get down with that too.
Wow. Listen, do you realize that war?
Dude, I'm curious of the future. I'm not going to be here to see it, but I'm curious of the future.
Well, I'll tell you what's in the future. About every 100 years, there's wars and genocide and.
No, man. I want to see where the human being has progressed in 50 to 100 years.
Yeah, you might not be happy about that. You might not be happy.
Well, I mean, according to the Jetsons, we're supposed to have flying cars in the sky in fucking 2018.
Yeah, according to Back to the Future, we were supposed to have hoverboards, like real hoverboards, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2015.
Something like that. Yeah, 2013, I think it was.
I like all.
I want to see that.
I like all the things that is going on, but the
human being is progressing just a tad too fast, in my opinion. They need to break it back a notch.
Yeah, but dude, eventually, masturbation's gone. Sex, gone. That kiss, that first kiss when you was a kid or whatever, that's gone. It's all going to be artificial intelligence and virtual reality. And
you wouldn't let a robot jerk you off, Paycheck? Where you can just sit back. You can just sit back on the couch and enjoy it instead of doing it yourself.
Yeah, of course.
They already got shit. They already got shit like that.
Yeah, but again, we're removing the intimacy between mankind.
Yeah, dude, you could buy a whole person.
Yeah, that's scary to me.
You could buy a whole real doll for like 15, 20 grand. that talks to you. You can fuck it. She'll suck you off.
Yeah, that's what I need. Somebody else telling me what to do.
They don't tell you what to do. They just interact with you.
It's artificial intelligence.
Of
The
course
word
it is.
intelligence. Did you hear about? I think it was in Russia. Don't quote me on that. But 4 robotic artificial intelligence turned on their creators and shot and killed. I think. Oh shit. I don't have all the numbers. I think 4. I mean, I don't think that's a real big deal, but yeah. So this artificial intelligence is already killing people.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna. You have to crack a few eggs to make a fucking omelet, man.
Okay, so you get that robotic female at the house. The bitch goes crazy. You short circuits and shit. Starts killing every damn body.
Check this out. I read today that there's a pop group in Tokyo that had a member of the group pass away, right? So they created a hologram of this motherfucker. Not a conscious hologram, just a hologram of this dude. Like, I guess not really interacting with people, but it was moving and talking and all this shit of this dude. Okay. All right. Well, the government of Tokyo, or wherever the fuck I think it was Tokyo, is allowing people to marry this fucking hologram. So there are hundreds and hundreds of people in Tokyo that are fans of this band, that when this dude passed away, these girls or guys, whatever it was, legally married a fucking hologram.
And that excites you about the future.
No, that's fucking ignorant.
But that's where we're headed. Artificial intelligence, technology. It's getting to where it's going to make people lazy. Is what's going to happen.
There are people marrying. There are men marrying these fucking real dolls too. But I'm talking just about a hologram, just like a beam of some shit out in the fucking air, and it's a person, like digitally, literally.
Yeah, we weren't meant for that. That's not natural. None of this shit that's going on right now is meant to be, and none of it's natural. And it's about greed, money, and power. You're not even going to be able to smell what the smell of, after it rains or right before it rains. Before too long, you're going to have an artificial nose. All that motherfucker is like Darth Vader. Just breathe.
Dude, they're growing ears on the backs of rats.
All that.
They're stem celling fucking teeth into people's head now in like 2 months.
The first human being has just been artificially created. Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah, I read that today, actually.
Dude, what?
Yeah. That's playing God, man.
So...
But I'm excited for the future, and I want to experience some of that crazy shit before I die. Some of it's fucked up, I'll admit it. Some of it's fucked up, but I'd like to take part in some of it. I'd like to go on one of those subconscious vacations, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the technology that we have available now. You know what I mean? I get it.
I'd like to be able to, take my family to a resort and plug in and go anywhere I fucking want to, without having to leave the fucking state or the country or whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to go wherever I want to, but have the ability to, when my wife says my name or something, or calls me or something, right, I'm there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, what's up? But before that, I was on the beach on some remote island.
Right.
Innocently, of course, nothing sexual. There weren't a lot of beautiful babes there or nothing.
Oh no, dude, I'm trolling down the river with a 6-pack and a fucking cane pole. Like that, I'm not going like crazy with it. I might go. I mean, the idea of being beamed and transported and teleported to different places is an awesome idea to me too. That I can actually physically dematerialize in a fucking tube and reappear in fucking Tahiti or somewhere. Physically, like real, I can actually be there.
You see, all that. Yeah, but that, man, That would worry me. Just on,
They'd have to work all. Wait a minute now. They'd have to work all the bugs out of it before I did it.
yeah, no shit.
Because if I dematerialize, at the fucking resort or whatever, and I go to Fiji or wherever it is I want to go, and I materialize on the beaches of Fiji, and my fucking arm is coming out of my forehead and my leg is coming out of my back and shit, I don't think I'd enjoy my vacation. I want them to work all the bugs out of it before I fuck with it. All the bugs.
Well, everything that you're talking about, I mean, you're talking about deconstructing and constructing the body, or deconstructing and constructing the consciousness. All that shit scares me. I ain't trying to come back, different.
But I mean, in theory, let's just say that this stuff was invented for the good of humanity. There was no negative in it at all. It was just all for the good of humanity, where we could subconsciously go on vacation and we could, subconsciously get an education and all this kind of shit. If it was for the good of humanity, there was no negative at it at all, it would be the best shit in the world. And it would advance humanity into this new age to where, we are teleporting people from destination to destination. But when you go and add the negative part to where when you come back, your head's fucked up, or, you have mental issues, or you plug in and you can't unplug, you know what I mean? Kind of like some Matrix type shit where you get stuck in that motherfucker or anything like that.
Well, we're plugged in now.
Yeah.
We're plugged in.
Plugged in.
And I guess that's the part that scares me. Technology doesn't scare me, or the future of it doesn't scare me. I guess it's how far are we going to go? It scares me a little bit.
Oh, I mean, dude, we've already past the limit. I mean, we're creating human beings in test tubes and shit. That's already too far.
Well, people lack the moral what is it? The moral shit. Like it's not about morals anymore. It's about technology and faster, more convenient. You know what
now,
I mean?
I'm talking about like they're starting with, and this is I read some things today that they're heading in this direction to where if you have a family pet, and this pet's been in the family for 12, 13 years, and it passes away from old age, but you just ain't ready to let go of Rover yet. They can take his DNA, grow you a whole nother dog, just like the one you had. Same memories, same dog, down to the last hair on its back. Right? So you get a whole nother Rover, a brand new one, as a puppy, and you get to raise him all over again. So in theory, this dog is going to live forever. But the end game is for them to grow a whole nother you.
Yeah.
Where when you pass away and the family's just not ready to let go of Paycheck, Grandpa Paycheck.
Yeah, I don't want to live like that.
Your family can give, I'm not going to say the government, but a government affiliate, some of your DNA and grow a whole nother you from embryo to fucking baby, and then you got a whole nother you, brand new, no health issues. You starting from scratch as a baby, just brand new.
Yeah, I have no desire for any of that.
Me either.
I think the problem with me, and this is all perception, and all what you want out of life or whatever, but I guess I'm a little old school. I was fortunate to live back in the day where you had to be in by the street light. So because of that, I'm going to be that old guy, refusing all this technology and, no, I can walk to the damn store. I don't have to be teleported to that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Imagine being teleported into a room where there is already a bunch of motherfuckers in there. Just like, hey.
Yeah, man. I'm not saying I want to. Yeah, I'm not saying I want to, elongate my lifespan or anything. I want to naturally pass away. But as far as the advancement of the technology that's going on right now, I'd like to take part in some of it before I die. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, you will. It'll get to where you don't even have to. You don't even have to take a shit.
I mean, how cool would it be? How cool would it be to come Saturday evening? I give you a little FaceTime call and say, "Hey, man, you ready to do this podcast thing?" Yeah, man, I'll be there in a minute. And then you just and Paycheck's in the studio and we doing a fucking live podcast. You know what I mean? And, all right, man, I'll talk to you later. And you go back to the fucking house.
I get it,
cool, man. That's cool, man.
Not to me.
Yeah.
Something I'm gonna be missing something when I get teleported back. I don't want to use the word retard, but I don't want to come back mentally disabled.
No. I mean, I'm sure that being teleported and dematerializing over and over and over and over and over again has to have some kind of negative effect on the human body.
Yes.
Just like cigarettes or coffee or soda or fried chicken. You know what I mean? Eventually it'll fucking, you'll get like some radiation poisoning or some weird ass cancer eventually. But, it's just like anything else. So.
But you get to control all that. Eventually you will get to control.
You get to control how many times you teleport. You have the option to walk to the fucking store instead of being teleported. But for the convenience of it, you just teleport to the store, pick you up a pack of smokes, get back on the couch, start watching TV.
But if you digitize yourself, then there won't be a need for cigarettes or food or water or the touch of a woman, or you know what I mean. You'll be digital. You won't be a physical being anymore.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked all the fun out of.
I'm talking about human beings, flesh and meat and bone and blood being dematerialized and reappear somewhere else, like the actual human being. I ain't talking about a robot doing it. I'm talking about me doing it.
Yeah. It's exciting and scary all at the same time. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also glad that I'm on that. Well, I might not even be on the ass end of it, but I'm glad I got to experience growing up the way we grew up.
All right, well, check it out, though. Listen about this. How about this? If you went to the doctor one day and he told you you had a terminal illness and it was affecting an organ in your body, and he said, Mr. Paycheck, I can grow you a whole nother one of them if you'll give me about 3 months, and you won't have no more health problems.
Am I gonna make it 3 months?
Well, I mean, in your time span is past that, but he give me a couple 2-3 months to grow you a whole nother one. We'll put it in, and you'll have no more health problems.
Yeah.
Would you accept that artificial organ?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to give in somewhere. We can fight the power all we want to, but if something comes, and that's the same technology that we've been talking about this entire episode. It's the same technology.
You're right, and that's what I have to remind myself, that you cannot fight evolution.
No.
And that's what this is.
Right.
This is the evolution of man.
A digital evolution, yeah. Yeah.
Which is scary, dude. That's crazy. It's even crazier that, number one, we're around for it, and number two, we're able to acknowledge it. A lot of people don't even acknowledge it or having these conversations. They're just like, oh, $1,000, a $1,000 phone that can take pictures of my butthole, and they can duplicate that asshole. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm just saying, man, like at some point in this whole entire evolution, I mean, you can't stop it. You just said it, but you have to give in at some point. And that particular instance is one of those times where you'd have to give in, unless you just want to give up and die. But
Yeah. Well, thankfully, we're getting it in spurts, so it's not just a fully life changing experience. You know what I mean? It's so gradual that people aren't even noticing it.
well, I mean, I've been a cigarette smoker since I was 14. I'm sure my lungs were pretty fucked up. I'd like to go and buy me another set, you know what I mean? Or a new heart, because I know I've eaten a lot of fried chicken in my life. So I know my heart's is getting there. I'd like to be able to go get me another one. Or when this one goes bad, they can just put me a new one in, you know?
Well, they can do that. Not artificially.
I'm just saying, like, let me grow you one, install it, and there you go. You know what I mean? They're already doing heart surgery with pig valves, using pig heart valves to replace yours. They're already doing that.
Yeah, I'm okay with physical changes artificially, but not the whole breakdown and reconstruction of the human body or my consciousness. I guess that's where I would draw the line. Yeah, I'll take a heart, I'll take a lung, I'll even take a limb. When you start digitally deconstructing me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And reconstructing me, my consciousness, you know, that's probably where I would draw the line at. And I'm definitely not getting a fucking chip in my hand at this point. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I would.
No, I don't either.
Well,
I would just like to take part in some of that.
Oh, you going to? I don't know to what extent, of course, but like I said, every 2 years, these transistors and these computers, these chips, double every 2 years. So everything is going to get faster, everything is going to get crazier, and everybody's going to get lazier. But to some, that's what they want.
Yeah.
To others, you know, they don't want that. Well, there it is, folks. Know your digital.
Moral of the story is, children, fight the power that be.
Fight the power.
Yeah.
Well, before we leave, I want to make sure that people know that you should be cautious on how you transfer yourself into this new technology. Be careful on what you put in it, and be careful on what you receive, because a lot of people are receiving shitty information. They're making shitty decisions based off that shitty information that they have.
Yeah.
Information literacy.
Yeah.
And hey, if you can be cooler online, you can be better looking, you know, digitally, then have at it. Red's gonna have all new shit. He's gonna be a completely different dude. We're gonna call his ass purple. This motherfucker's going.
Just call me darker shade of red.
All right, well, there you have it. Our digital self. Look into it, learn about it, figure it out, use it responsibly.
Yeah. Real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to South Carolina Beard Club. Their rescheduled competition that we didn't get to go to is this weekend, and they just wrapped up a competition in Myrtle Beach tonight. Shout out to them.
We were supposed to be there, but hurricane came through and it was postponed.
Right, and it was postponed till this weekend, and we didn't get to make it.
Yeah, it's actually going on right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're wrapping it up right now, but yeah, it was happening while we were recording this episode for sure.
So shout out to all the winners, all the participators. And,
might try to get a couple of the winners and maybe the MC on next week or couple weeks or so. Talk about it.
That's it. Stay tuned, because we talk about it.
So you don't have to.
Till next time. See ya.
Later.
Ah, shit. I almost forgot.
You've been listening to the Conversations with Paycheck and Red podcast. Check out Paycheck and Red on Facebook at Paycheck and Red, Instagram at Paycheck and Red Podcast, and Twitter at Paycheck and Red. And don't forget, paycheckandred.com, where you can buy merch, you can subscribe to the podcast, and you can listen to the podcast.
Drama City Productions.
It's a podcast network that brings you several genres of podcasts: movie reviews, true crime, comedy, interviews, and much more. Visit DramaCityProductions.com to find all the amazing shows today. Find Drama City Productions on Twitter and Instagram at DCP Network, and stay in touch with the network and all the podcasts available. Big thanks to Ben, who runs the network, and his own podcast. DramaCityProductions.com, where podcasting lives.